Yeah.
it really seems to me like just communications have completely broken down between the sexes. I mean, there's like there's no common ground. Like when I was coming up, there was almost understood that that this was going to happen. It's an interaction. It's not a big deal. But like if I were to, especially me, because I'm an older man, if I were to approach a woman in public and attempt to try to have a conversation with her, I'll have everybody standing around waiting for me to like touch her or grab her or something, like to be weird. Like 'cause everybody's got this preconceived notion now. It's so strange. It's so strange to me to observe.
No, I hear what you're saying because funny enough, yeah. So basically, just recently, past couple of days, there was an incident that happened in the UK where like an
Yeah.
influencer, she
Uh-huh.
like I think you heard about it. So the influencer she got passed away, and it's weird. Basically, she was fighting for another woman, but then you see a lot of men, yeah, like not instead of going in and stopping them, they're literally watching them, recording them, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, me and my boys are talking about this. If we were there in that situation, we will literally
Mhm.
diffuse the situation. We'll go to the girls, hey, what's going on, girls? Stop fighting. No, you don't need
Yeah.
this. What's
Yeah.
what's happening is a lot of young men are now afraid to get cancelled. Cancelled for what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
in your primal instinct.
Yeah.
It's in your
Yep.
it's
Yep.
biology.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like it's in your
Absolutely.
instinct to actually see
But
danger and report
right.
it and interact with it.
Because see this, you're speaking to there's a point that I also wanted to kind of touch on when we get to talking too, but um
Yeah.
back in like the 2000s and 2010s when guys would kind of get together and talk about our shared experiences online when it came to women
Mhm.
or whatever. um, I started to notice some patterns, and I made a
Yeah.
prediction then that there's going to wind up coming a time. There's going to come a time where women are demanding a certain behavior from men in public, so much so to the point where it's going to completely silence out any of that, natural what do you call it, the natural inclinations to protect. They're just going to completely
Yeah.
mute that in men, and then they're going to be standing around like, well, what happened, how come men aren't men? It's like you're not even
Yeah.
paying attention to what you're doing to yourself. You're not paying attention to it. Like, you got to
Mm.
understand that. I think that we've gotten to a place where everything is so me centered, me focused, that nobody's really paying
Mhm.
attention to what they're doing to the outside world. It's all about what the
Yes.
outside world is doing to me. So, and
Yeah.
I think it's
I
it's
agree.
really it's hurting us, all of us.
No, I fully agree, and I think, like, and the thing is, like, when people talk about, oh, misogyny is this double standards. Like, you want to know what misogyny and double standard looks like? Look at evolutionary psychology, like
Right,
literally.
right. Yep.
Look at
Yep.
look at biology. So there was a book I read years ago called The Red Queen by Matt Riley, and it
Okay.
literally broke down like the dynamics between male and females. And that's what led me to more about understanding male and females, because like the interaction behind us, the biology.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
And
it made me understand why. Go on. So you're saying?
no, when you get the opportunity, if you would you send me that title?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into
Yeah,
that
yeah,
book
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
Oh yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of my
Definitely,
stuff,
definitely.
like, yeah, a lot of my stuff, like, I have read a ton of books, but I rely more on personal experience, and then wherever I find confirmation of what, okay, then I'm on the right course, and then I'll look
Yeah.
into it. I've always kind of been that way. And again, I'm a
Nah.
little rusty. Like, I used to do this like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. I was heavy in this every day, writing articles, doing all kinds of stuff, and I haven't done it in years. But I got it in me, so I've relit that
Oh,
flame,
listen.
and
Trust me, your article said it all. I love the one about the Sims. That literally was a comic book to me. That made me laugh so hard. That
yeah,
that
good,
literally, you
good,
know
good.
what? That laughed. I never laughed so hard about reading that article. I was in stitches. I was like, my man's not holding back any punches. He didn't went for the juggler. He did like a Mike
No.
Tyson.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
went for
I mean,
uppercut.
that's definitely, that's always been my approach. Like, there was a time when, in like, say, 2014, 2015, just prior to Trump and all that, and everybody wanting everybody
Yeah,
canceled.
yeah,
You could feel that was coming. Like, they wanted to silence you. Oh, well, that's mean. You can't say that. But there's certain things that you have to be loud and abrasive about in order to
Mhm.
get the point across, because
Yeah.
people aren't listening. They're worried about the wrong things. They're
Yeah.
worried about whether or not you're going to be mean
Yeah.
instead of
Hmm.
what's the outcome going to be if this behavior continues.
You know what's funny enough? Because
I'm almost done getting this cleaned up. Hang on just a second.
no, no worries, no worries. I was gonna say, yeah, like, because funny enough you said, because I have this crazy prediction as well. It might be happening sooner than later that we are going to go to a point where things get so bad that we have to do a U-turn and go, okay, this ain't working. We need to go back to old ways now. Like, this ain't probably working. Like, it's going to be to a point it's like destruction, because right now I'm noticing a lot of women waking up thinking, yeah, this feminist stuff is not working out for me. I've been gaslight. I've been like lied to. This politics doesn't work for me. I want to go back. Like, we got
And see,
women doing.
you're absolutely right. There are a lot of women that are realizing that now, and that's a great thing. Like, I did
Mhm.
not see that coming. I thought that for the most, there's always going to be outliers. There's always going to be those
Yeah,
who have seen it since the beginning, but it seems like
yeah,
there's a higher percentage of women that are
mhm,
really seeing it for what it is. And that's a
yeah,
wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing, because I predict that if it wouldn't have gone that way, and we did get where all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, we got to go all the way back 180 degrees," you're going to be dealing with a lot of bad men doing bad things. So
yeah.
that's something I want to avoid. You know.
But you know what? It's funny enough you say that, because I think this is where we got to understand like why this movement, the manosphere movement, started. It's boiled down to a resentment of like, and remind me of my languages. It's mostly white men who's been suppressed by white women's feminist movement so long. They're like, no, we're not taking this. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not an arsehole. I'm not going to tolerate this disrespect. I'm going to stand up and have a voice. And
Yeah, no,
when we have, when we look at this
no,
perspective angle, because
absolutely.
and we look at the angle, because like I said, I looked at this work for years now. So there's certain people I read. Are you familiar with
Mm.
Robert A. Glover's book, No More Mr. Nice Guy?
Yes, yes, I'm familiar with the book.
Yeah, so I've listened to the audiobook about 3 times in my lifetime. And I'm looking at the Amazon reviews. People's like, oh, it's misogyny, it's misogyny. No, no. Somehow men having boundaries and standards is what they don't like.
Right,
It triggers
right.
them. It triggers them. And the thing is, I think the reason why when you said something in my live show about about policing, it hit on me. I'm thinking, because I'm not thinking, nah, my man's got a point there, because it's noticed how we lose language. It's like we use the word feminist. It's like almost equivalent to the N word,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and it's like, and I'm thinking like, why can I say that? Because a lot of women are saying, oh, I'm not feminist, but I'm eternal. It's like they're rebranding it. They're
yeah,
moving the
yeah.
goalposts.
Yeah, and see, that's
They're
that's
moving
another
it.
thing that always angered me about the feminist movement too. Is I could see it back in the 90s where they were trying to parallel it to the civil rights movement, and
Mm-mm.
that's a huge insult for you to do. Don't do that. Don't.
You
You
can't
got,
you can't compare.
women have their struggles too. Women have
Yes.
their struggles too, and I'm all ears. But if what you're saying is garbage, I'm gonna let you know. Like, and that should be allowed. It should be okay, because we're gonna
Mhm.
find common ground together and work this out together. It's not gonna be, oh well, I'm taking over now because men have been in charge for so long and they messed it all up. So now, as a woman, we're gonna let women rule. Now, come on, man. We're doing tit for tat now. Not,
No,
come
I
on.
hear what you say. I hear it, but
It's not,
it's interesting.
it's not healthy.
I think the problem is, well, what I picked up it is people use the word equality, but not understand that's not equality. There's equity and equality. They're
Right.
two different things.
Right. Right.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, why I
Yeah.
heard like the left saying, "Oh, we want equal." No, you don't want equal. You want power. So you use the equal as an excuse, as a form of power.
Yeah.
You're using that as an
And see,
excuse. Just be honest.
and that's what I really respected Jordan Peterson for when he first started talking about it, because he broke that down. There's a difference between equality of opportunity and equality of outcomes.
Yeah.
If I'm all for equality of opportunity, but if you're going to just try to take from me because you perceive me as already having a head start, see, now
Hmm.
now we're getting into the conversation of property rights now, and you're
Yeah.
you're trying to take from me, you're going to steal from me. That's a
It's
completely different
territory.
conversation.
It's
you know
yeah. But it's funny enough you say that, because it's the thing though, it's like right now for every man that stands up against society and when he falls, there's gotta be a next man behind him. So right
Yeah,
now we got
yeah,
Tate. Before Tate, it was Andrew Tate. but no, no, before Andrew
Mm,
Tate, it was I believe Kevin Samuel, Dan Joy Peterson, Patrice O'Neill.
mhm.
Basically, long
Mhm.
story short, there's always a man, there's always a gay society. You can't get away with him. It only takes
Yeah.
one man to voice his opinion, and the other man start waking up and then going in. The problem is, what we have in here is, Eric, we've got two sides. We've got the
Mhm.
tyrant men, which I remember in my last video, I said the 20% of the powerful men, and then we got the simps. So
Mhm.
we're in the middle. We're in the middle right
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we got the bottom describe the simps, who are like the white
Mhm.
knights, who are
Yeah.
literally defending women. Not me saying these women don't like them one bit. They hate them with their guys.
Yeah,
But at the
those
same time,
I don't like those guys at all, man. Those guys, they are
they're worse. They're
they're
worse.
they're
They're
predators in
worse.
disguise, and they're just looking for a way to get around the system in order to get what they want. And by
Yeah,
oh, they're con men. Oh, we're buddies. I'm going to take care of you. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. But I did want
mm,
to say this though too about the manosphere itself.
yeah,
Initially, again, back in to the 2000s, 2010s, what
yep,
was termed the manosphere was it was really just because there's always in history there's always been men's space. Like you
yeah,
go into the barber shop and it's all
mhm,
men's talk, and
yeah,
that's how we disseminate information amongst one another. Every time I go to the barber shop, I learn something. And
yeah.
this is a good thing. This is a good thing for society.
But you know what?
That's
Before the
been
barber
pretty
shop,
much
we had tribes.
erased anymore.
No, before the
Yeah,
barber shop,
right,
we had like
right,
tribes. We had tribes. Like you look at the
right.
integrated, like
Mhm,
the hunting time, like camping. Those are kind of things.
mhm.
That was our way of
Exactly.
actually, brotherhood as well, and like coming
Yeah.
together. And I think what is
Brotherhood and,
happening,
and rites of passage, right? All that stuff that is missing, it's missing
yeah,
from
mhm,
Western society nowadays. And anytime that we attempt to form one of these, then women got to get involved. Oh, well, why can't we be part of this? What are you guys
yeah,
doing behind closed
yeah,
doors? And it's
yeah,
all okay. Well, you keep doing that to us. Eventually, what winds up happening is we find a space online where we can do that. And it
yeah,
it was a good place. I learned a lot about philosophy and stoicism and all that. Like
yeah,
when
yeah.
and
I
that helped me
agree.
to grow a lot. So
I
it's a good
agree.
thing. But now, like what's termed the manosphere, with Louis Theroux or
Yeah,
however you
yeah,
pronounce his
yeah.
name,
Yeah, you
uh,
got it right.
they're putting a stamp on something and calling it the manosphere. I don't know, man. I've been out of the loop for so long. Maybe that is the manosphere today, but that's
Mm,
not what I remember it
I
as.
think
You know.
I think what it is, yeah, why? Because I watched the documentary with my mom, and
Mhm.
I'm literally laughing. I'm having comedy with her, and my mom was asking me Duncan, what's cold about your game? So I told my mom, like, back in the day, that's what my dad did. Go up to you in public, have a conversation, to chat to you. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Men don't do that because they're scared to get cancelled. My mom looks at me like, what's wrong with these women? Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right, exactly,
She looks at me
exactly.
like, come on, like right now, yeah, we got Instagram, social media. A lot of young boys here are afraid to like approach women, interact with them. They call it indirect game, like status. So it's like, oh, you gotta
Mhm.
have many followers, you gotta have a car and stuff. But like, I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you can't hold a conversation,
Right,
literally that's useless skill.
right,
That is a
yeah.
useless skill to have because
And
the thing
that's
is
that's
like,
a that's really a terrible position to be in as a man, anyways. Like
mhm,
you're basically asking to get taken advantage of when you approach it from
facts,
that angle.
yeah.
So
And the
yeah,
thing is, like, watching that documentary, because there was a lot of things he got wrong. Instead of like asking these men, how about he do his homework and go back in time? How about you ask the men that start this movement? Like,
right,
where they got the
right,
idea from? Where did he get
right,
the idea?
exactly.
Where did inspiration come from? Why not have a
Right,
conversation with men who actually invented this ideology?
yeah.
Why is this go
Well,
down the rabbit hole?
I didn't
As
like how he initially set up the foundation of what he was doing. Like the first 5 minutes of him talking, I didn't like that because he's already setting it up like there's this weird group of men online that do strange things and we got to make sure that they don't overdo it and hurt women. Like
yeah.
it gave me that kind of vibe, and it's like, okay,
It
bro,
gave
like
it gave me like it gave me like the simp slash white knight persona, and
yeah,
the thing
very
is like,
much.
their work is on the internet. It's on
Mhm.
YouTube. You can
Yeah.
literally find their work. It's literally open. And I think what because I tried to stop people in their Manosphere, and some people were talking about it, and I was thinking, in fact, some men were like, "Oh, I'm not part of Manosphere. I'm not part of it." But anyhow you evolve men's improvement or helping men out, you
Right,
may not be directly or indirectly, but you're kind of part of the program of help men's journey.
right, right.
You're literally part of it. It's like me. If I
Which,
wrote like a subset article about help men and stuff, I'm
yeah,
literally in a way part of it because I'm helping men
yeah,
out.
yeah. But and see, here's the thing too: is there should be nothing wrong with that. That should be a good thing. But it's like that's become such an issue now. No matter what, they try to spin it as this is a negative thing. What do you think you're going to get out of doing that? You're going to create these
Problems.
incels. You're going to create these. Just you got to let people just be people. Regardless. I don't. If women want to get together and do whatever they do, I don't know, go to the bathroom together and stuff. Go ahead, do whatever you do. That does. It's not going to negatively impact me. But
No,
I don't know. I think
but
it's
you know,
I think
y-
people are what's the word? They're anticipating the worst to come right
yes,
now. Like, oh my God, we got to make sure the worst of the worst doesn't happen, and you can't even describe what it is. But I
you
have
can't
this
predict it.
feeling that come on now, you know what I mean? You got a feeling, really?
You know what?
Okay.
We lost the art of critical thinking because when I look at this perspective angle, because as someone who dived into this ideology for like I'll say about 3 years now in my life, there are some pros and
Hmm.
cons. The con
Hmm.
side is
Hmm.
that you start developing this idea of women monsters and stuff, which that is quite dangerous. But then when you look at realistically and look at the gaps of it, you need to work on your
Hmm.
social skills. You need to like answer. Some people argue, oh, direct game is terrible. You can't go to a bar. You can't chat, can't conversate with women. I go to hang out with my friends. I go to data boys. I go to data boy in bunches. There's 80% women, and I'm thinking like they're looking at me like I'm the treasure. They're staring
Yeah.
at me.
Right.
They become the
Right.
predator. They're staring at me, and I'm the prey. I'm like,
Right.
wow. And
Right.
I'm thinking, I'm just going to talk to them. To the point is like I'm having a conversation because I know myself deep down in my character. I ain't no threat to society.
Right.
I'm a normal guy. You got to
Right.
be supposed to be afraid of me. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
me talking to them, me interacting. I mean, I even go to bookstores and I even have conversation with women in the bookstore to the point we have a conversation, we chat, we vibe. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like
Hmm.
even going to a coffee shop. Basically, direct game, yeah, is so effective in today's society. A lot of young men, especially young boys in their 20s, don't know how to hold conversation. They don't know how to talk. And I'm like, it's not hard. Just go. What are you afraid? Oh, I'm gonna get rejected. Rejected on what? It's like sport. You just go here, get hit, run. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's but see what that is that is always going to be there to some degree. There's always going to be a percentage of men who are very nervous about approaching women in any kind of way, So they'll make all types of excuses as to why to
Hmm.
not do it and all that. And if
Yeah,
we keep building up around that, it's only going to make that worse, man. You got
I
to. It's
know.
one of those things like the water's really cold and it's gonna suck to jump in it, but you're just gonna have to dive in,
The end.
You're gonna have
Yeah,
to,
like
So, and it's
I
just one of
said,
those things where you
yeah.
get used to it. You learn from your mistakes or whatever as you go, That's the
No,
only way to do it.
no, I definitely agree. Because in the UK, we have a saying here. So obviously, we call it football. You guys call it soccer. We literally say
Mhm.
you gotta get in the field. You gotta play the game. You just gotta get in the field. You gotta shoot how many
Yeah.
goals you can. You don't. You don't. You know what I mean? You just gotta keep trying.
Yep.
Like that's what I mean. That why you think the phrase game came from? Because you got to look at it as a game, like a sport. It's
Hmm.
literally a
Hmm.
sport game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think,
Because that's the truth. It's competition. You know, if we're talking about what how do you term it, sexual strategies, basically at the end of the day that's what it really boils down to. Women have their own version of it too. It's
yeah,
not the same as how we do it because of course men and women are completely opposite one another because we're a
yep,
complementary species.
hmm,
So it happens, it's just the way that it works, but there's nobody there to really teach young men any of this stuff, so they don't know this. They're out there blind, and that's why you get weirdo incels, though. Like I was saying earlier,
yeah,
that's where they come from. It's not because men are congregating online and talking about women. That has nothing.
hmm,
Like you. Let me caveat that with you might get a few weirdos that get together online and
yeah,
do this stuff, but in general,
yeah,
that's not what the manosphere is, though.
yeah.
So it was very disappointing to see. him kind of twist that as, oh, what's gonna happen, almost like, oh, what's gonna happen next. Uh-oh, like these guys are talking about making money and lifting weights. Oh, that's scary,
I think it's funny enough because what he did, yeah, I think this is why he flopped in the documentary. He's focused on the grifters. He not even actually talks to the actual
Yeah.
men who
Yeah.
followed them. Like, you see the scene, yeah, where he's in Miami and he sees these two men, one talking about
Yeah.
depression and stuff. Why not
Yeah.
focus the camera on them? He did songs like, okay, this is boring. Let me go to these lot. You want to know documentary? Talk to the men who are going through struggle. Talk to the men why they have this ideology. Talk to these men. Talk to the
That's
audience.
that's that's where the issue is. That's where he should have spent his time, was talking to those guys, man. That because that was kind of sad, that's what everything we're talking about, that's what this creates, and then because
Hmm.
you also have to take into consideration how things are changing with the economy and the job
Yeah.
market and all these things.
Yeah.
Things are changing so fast right now for these younger men. They don't know
Yeah.
what to, and as an older man, we don't really have a whole lot of answers for that because
Of
we
course.
didn't experience it the same way. So what we can do is try to teach some type of confidence and
Yeah.
how to deal with adversity. And if the only place they can get that from is this Justin guy, the steel tycoon, or what, I don't never heard of him before,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
what's his name, Andrew
That's
Tate,
what you
then
say.
that's what you're gonna get then. And that's the way that works. So, see, he had a real opportunity there to do something, to see the change, and all he did was he focused on what he thought was weird. Because I think that there's a real desire for a lot of these guys that are in these positions to tell these stories, to
Hmm.
make women feel okay about what they're saying. So they'll go so far into the this is the weird shit and talk about the weird shit, and
Hmm.
and then try to twist it like, but I'm not one of those guys though,
Yeah.
instead of actually dealing with what the issue is. See, me personally, I could care less
Yeah.
what women or anyone else thinks about me. I'm gonna be me regardless, and that's it. So
No,
that's the
I fully agree
difference.
with you. I fully agree with you because what's happening is, and I mentioned as well in my Substack now because I think a lot of people are upset that Undertale was a bestseller, and I'm thinking you're not complaining, but you're secretly turned on by it. And it's like a playground school thing. You know, like how the girls like the bad boys and stuff, but they don't admit it, they
Hmm.
turn on. You're turned on
Hmm.
by something that you despise, and you don't admit it. Like me, I could say that was a time I was into like bad girl and stuff like was a baddie, but I'm like, no, I like my peace. I said I have boundaries, and
Yep.
to me, I've been in a situation. It's like no one's ever called me misogynist or like this kind of stuff. I have boundaries. It's like, oh wow, I'm not used to this. Yeah, because you're not used to a good man. You're used to
Right.
nice guys, but not a good man. There's a
Right.
difference. A
Yeah.
good man has
Because
boundaries.
typically men they're scared. They're scared of rejection. They're scared
Hmm.
of being told they're a weirdo by a
Yeah,
woman.
yeah,
They're scared of all that stuff. I mean, you got to bump your head a few times. You got to
yeah.
learn to try to figure it out in order to find your way through it all. Because
No, of
everybody's
course.
going to be slightly different. With how they
Yeah.
approach this or whatever. Because everybody is different. So it's
And
just
I think
it's.
it's
No, go ahead.
interesting. No, you say yeah. Because I think what for me is what I've noticed, because I feel like with men, yeah, like we have like a system. It may not make sense to women, but it does make sense for us. Like for instance, if we ever lose a lost one or go from big stuff, our system is go to the gym, exercise, self
Hmm.
improvement, learn a new skill, build
Hmm.
something that makes a difference in society.
Hmm. Hmm.
That is our
Absolutely.
method. That's always been our method since day one. So I
Hmm.
remember it's coming to 10 years now. I lost my granddad back in 2016, and I
Sorry
was
to
in a
hear
dark
that.
place. No, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. But that became my motivation to become a better man. Like
Hmm.
his death impacted me to a point. End of 2016, I'll never get it. I was just done. I was tired of being pessimistic. I was done, like bad things happening. I started to go to the
Hmm.
gym. I started lifting weights. Next thing you know, I started reading dating books. I started working on my job, trying to get promoted because I was working retail. I started working on my personal stuff. And because I did that, I became more optimistic. I became more confident. Like people
Hmm.
around me, it's
Hmm.
like, wow, Duncan, you
Hmm.
changed. And I said, look, death is a form of transformation that hit me.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it hit me.
personal proof. You prove to yourself
Yeah.
that you can do those things. And that does everything for a man's confidence. That does everything for it. And again, it's completely different for women. It's completely
Yeah.
different. It's a different experience.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with it being different, but we can't allow um
You can't sugarcoat it.
mainstream thought narrative to dictate to us how we're
Yeah.
supposed to go about things. You can't do
Of
that. it's
course.
not it's not going to turn out well.
You know what? It's funny enough because there was a book I read years ago, and I think every man should read it. It's called Iron John by Robert Bly, and he talks
Okay.
about the masculinity. So he takes a bit of Carl Jung's work about the masculinity, and he talks about every
Okay.
man has the wild beast. The
Yeah.
wild beast inside us is the thing that gives us the voice to pursue and go on. Now he
Hmm.
argues that society will silence the beast within every man.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the fact is, the more the beast gets silenced, the more it becomes toxicity, aggressive anger, because he needs an outlet to get out.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. See, and then when you start to read and learn about this stuff, and you can see parallels in
Mhm.
real life with this stuff, it starts to make you wonder,
Yeah,
is this all by design? Are they is there they trying
yeah,
to create this outcome? Is this all by
mhm,
design? Like, it's really odd, but I've seen a lot of evidence of that over the years. I'm going to start writing more about that too. I think that needs to be put out there,
no, of course,
you
definitely.
know.
And like I said, I mean, I would love to do a collaboration with you as well. And I think it's funny enough here because I've been in a situation where a lot of women even said, like, I like a guy that can put me in my place. I like a guy that can lead. I like a guy that can tell me once in a while to shut the heck up. And I'm thinking, I shouldn't tell you to shut the heck up because you know it.
Right.
I shouldn't do like a pimp nace. I should do like a pimp nace slip back and saying like, bitch, shut the fuck up kind of thing. I shouldn't do that. The fact you need me
No.
to tell you that, that tells me that you need to work on yourself. Because
Exactly. That's
that tells
exactly
me
the
you need to
truth.
work on
Yeah.
yourself. Because if you need someone to put in your place, that shows you got a lot of issues you need to work on yourself. That shows you like accountability and boundaries.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's the thing.
I think I think with women across the board today, and this is something that it hasn't changed much since the 90s. I think the number one thing that women really need to work on is being honest with themselves. Like,
I
like
agree.
what we're talking about here. Like, if that's what you want out of a man, okay, that's fine. You can have that too, but start asking yourself why and
Yeah.
figure that out about yourself. Don't just
Hmm.
allow that to continue to or keep on shoving it down the sisterhood. Feminists told you that that's bad,
No, of course.
kind of thing, where it's a negative response because they keep pushing it down. So it's the same kind of thing.
You know,
So it's just we need to get on to more healthy ways of dealing with stuff, man.
you know, you just point a point is actually quite interesting as well because us men, yeah, and even the UK and USA, we can't go one day without verbally abusing each other. That's how we strengthen our friendship. We take the piss out of
Yeah,
each other.
right, right.
We literally
And
take the piss out of each other.
yeah,
That's not way of saying, I see you, brother. I want you to grow,
yeah.
but you're a dickhead.
Yeah, right. And that's completely acceptable. That's how we communicate. But
Yeah.
you can't communicate with women in the same way, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's
But
okay. But you know, it's interesting as well because I think the best way for women to learn, and I know it's for some females alive, when women start dating other women, they're like, wow, I understand how guys operate now because we are
yep.
complicated creatures. And they're like,
Yeah.
how do you deal with us? I'm like, we've been doing this since dawn time. We've
Yeah.
been doing this since dawn
Exactly.
time. We're used to it. We're used
Exactly.
to it. Like we're
Yeah.
literally getting our popcorn, sitting down, relaxing. When you're like I spend so many time on the internet where I get like females going on TikTok and Instagram comparing how lesbians like stuff like, oh, you know what? I'm done dating women. I'm gonna go back to dating men now. This is that. And I'm like, welcome to the other
Yeah.
side. We were expecting you. What took you so long? Have a popcorn, sit down for a bit,
Right.
relax. You know what I mean? Take a seat off.
And all this time, when you heard a man complain about a woman, you thought he was over exaggerating or in his feelings or whatever, but you see it now, right? You see it,
Yeah.
you know. It is
No, of
what it
course,
is.
definitely. No, but you know what it is? I feel like with the doc, like I said, with Lewis here, what he should have done with the documentary it was my eyes. If I was doing a documentary, I'll go back in time. I'll have a conversation with Neil Strauss, Bruce V, and Pook, and ask him, how do you come to this conclusion? Where do we go from here? That is how you do a documentary. You
That
go
yeah,
back in
exactly,
time.
exactly.
You go check history.
I saw someone else did a review on that movie, the documentary, the Manosphere. They and they the way that they worded it was that was not a documentary, that was an investigation, and that's the truth. I mean, they basically he singled out four guys and
Hmm.
thought he was going to get. You're not even getting a well-rounded understanding of what it is with just those
Yeah.
four guys, because out of those four guys, three of them were basically the same guy doing the same stuff. Come on
Hmm.
now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I guess you could say that they represent the manosphere, quote unquote, but there's a whole lot more to it. It's a lot more basic than
Hmm.
these rich dudes that are online selling courses, whatever, to whatever, man. Some of
But
those guys need those courses. And I'll just say it, that's the truth. Some of these guys need these courses to go through this stuff, to be able to look at it and say, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to do this because XYZ. But they would have no other, um, what's the word? They'd have no other means of coming to these conclusions if they didn't have that stuff. And they're just going to be beating their head against the wall, living out of their car like this guy was, and just
yeah,
doing the same
yeah.
stuff.
I
It's
agree. But you know what? I feel like because I'm looking back here, because Neil Strauss actually did it properly. Because Neil Strauss studied Mystery Man. Because you read
Mhm.
Neil Strauss' first book, The Game. He says it, I'm
Yeah,
undercovering their pickup artistry. So he understood it by working alongside them, by shadowing them,
yeah, right.
understand their
Yeah.
methods. And then he wrote a book. Next thing you know, hey guys, this is the blueprint. I found it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it to you guys. And like I said, I mean, he has a 3 book series. So the one that I showed you, yeah, I think yesterday, it was the second book, where he's explaining how you get a date in 30 days. He's giving you a step-by-step guide how to get a date. He's
Mhm.
not telling you
Mhm.
to like, be a monster or anything. He's just saying this is a step-by-step
Right,
guide to work on your
right,
social skills. And
right.
I'm gonna give you a bit of I'm gonna give you like a little sneak in the book and maybe laugh. He literally said like he took a Chris Rock joke. It's like when you
Mhm.
talk to a woman, he literally think, hey, how about some dick? And
Right.
and we end up laughing and end up cracking. And the thing is,
Mhm.
like, he needs to explain to you, like, men go by confidence and charisma. And
Mhm.
that became part of me. Confidence and charisma. If
Mhm.
you can make her laugh, you're good to go. You don't need a lot of money. If you can make her
Mhm.
laugh and feel comfortable, you're good to go. A lot of
Yeah,
these guys, young men, don't know how to
mhm.
be funny and hold a conversation with women. They don't know how to be
Yeah,
funny. Like I'm seeing it, I'm
right.
thinking, you can't crack a joke. If you can't crack a
Yeah.
joke, you ain't winning in life.
What it boils down to at the core is it's safety. If you can't make her feel safe,
Yeah,
for some
yeah,
women that might be that you need a bunch of money for her to feel safe, but that's not every woman. And I think that
yeah,
this is something that's completely overlooked. Young men don't even
hmm,
realize, and they don't
yeah.
even think about that whatsoever. Because
I
we're not
agree.
the same. So.
Yeah, it's funny enough because I think there's new. I don't know the Instagram and stuff. They're saying studies showing like women, Gen Z women are now looking to date millennial men, and I'm thinking like that's not a new study. That's been old since dawn time. Young women
Mm,
always will pursue older men because he has spiritual
always,
knowledge, not because reason.
always.
And then like as well. And I remember I'll never get this. I was talking to a friend. She's like an older sister to me. She was like, "Duncan, you should date with young women." I was like, "What's wrong with women my age?" She's like, "No, Duncan, you date the women younger than you because they got less trauma, less baggage, and they have less experience." It's not manipulating and controlling. It's just you being in a lane field where you both understand in that perspective.
No, you
And
know
again,
who the first person to ever tell me anything like that was my mother. My own mother told me that. So,
like I say,
I'm
mothers know
gonna
best.
listen to what mom says.
Yeah. Like I said, they always say mothers know best because mothers understand other women.
Hmm.
They would teach you. They literally they know the minute you interact with women, like she's a good woman, she's a bad woman. They understand. Just like
Hmm.
us men, when it comes to we have daughters and stuff, we could tell what a good man looks like
Yeah,
just by interacting with them. We could see the energy. And I think that's what the problem is. Young kids are not listening to their parents enough. They're going by what the internet tells
yeah.
them. They're
Well,
not listening to their dads.
there's also the reality of today. It's a different social climate. Women
Of
can't do
course.
anything wrong. Women can't do anything wrong in this current social climate. The only person that can do anything wrong is a man. And it's only until recently, I'd say probably in the last year or so, that you see that even starting to budge any. For the last decade,
Hmm.
that's what's been. If you try to,
Yeah.
allergic to accountability, I'm sure you've seen that everywhere. It's all over the internet.
Oh, trust
And
me.
it,
You know,
and it comes
it's
from
funny now
a
you say
real
that.
place.
But you know what it is, yeah? I think this is what I always say to women in love. I think say to my close friends, like, feminists didn't help you win, it set you up to fail. It actually didn't want you to win. It actually set you up to fail because you look at Instagram, TikTok, these are systems
Yeah.
that disposed your nature. Like, you look at back in the old days, like before 2010 and stuff, I understand female nature was a rare thing. Like you
Hmm.
have to, like I said, you have to have a group of circle of men who are like
Hmm.
specialists studying. Now, female nature is now exposed to social media and mainstream that we like you're giving us a cheat code. And this is why you're getting played.
Right.
Like you literally expose yourself. And the thing is like we're foxes. If another fox is telling you, hey, like if another fox tells you, hey, this fox is dangerous, stay away from that fox, you better
Hmm.
listen to us because
Right.
we know what predator looks like. Predator sees predator.
Right. Right.
Like you know what
Yep.
I mean? Like
That's
you
why.
gotta look at the animal perspective.
Yep. The recently a phrase that I'm hearing a lot of is you need good men to tell you who the bad men are. Like that, as soon as that goes away, that's when it all crumbles. And we're getting to a
Yeah,
point.
because
We're
the
getting
nice
to a
guys.
point now where the good men are tired of dealing with it. So when they stop telling you who the
Yep.
bad men are, at some point you got to say, oh, okay, well, I should probably, listen to what's being said here, and because it's for your own
Yep.
good. It's safety.
Good.
You know.
No, of course. And I agree, because funny enough, because let's be real, the nice guy ain't gonna tell you the truth. He ain't gonna
Hmm.
tell you the truth. He's gonna tell you what he's gonna tell you what you want to hear. The good guy's gonna tell you what you need to hear. There's a difference.
Exactly. Exactly. And
He's gonna tell you what you need to hear.
and that's been demonized. That's been demonized. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you should like tone policing. Your tone. Oh, you don't talk like that to a woman. Oh, come on now. It's first of all, it's the internet. You know, it's just people got to get over themselves in order to get on to better places in life for themselves and for their loved ones. There's a lot of
No,
that
of
getting in
course.
their own way type stuff.
It's funny enough because it's the thing, yeah, we live in the world, is it's like you're giving us responsibility without the authority. Make it make
Mhm, mhm.
sense.
Right.
Make it make
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
like that's like saying, I'm a teacher, yeah, but I can't teach you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well, that's
mean?
another piece of this. Like prior to looking at it that way too, feminism itself, second wave feminism, was in a nutshell. If you put it in a nutshell,
Yeah.
it's women walked away from their station in life, right? So they decided they wanted to do what men do because they thought that that was what being
Mm-hmm.
free was going to be,
Yeah.
not realizing that that was never freedom, anyways. But they
Mm-hmm.
left that station, so now there's a whole you know uh sector of society that's
Yeah.
it's unmanned. There's nobody there, and they're looking to us to pick that up. Why aren't you doing that? Well, because you walked away from it. That's,
Mm-hmm.
if we're going to hold people accountable like we should, you walked away from it. You're expecting me to pick up the pieces and continue to be the traditional man that you want, while you not being
Mm-hmm.
traditional yourself. It's all a catch 22 all the way around. It makes
Yeah.
everybody miserable. There's,
Uh,
I mean, I get it. I mean, there's nobody in their right mind is going to scream about putting women back in the kitchen. It's just not going to happen,
nah,
right? So
it's
nobody's
not gonna
looking
happen.
for that. Nobody's looking for that. It's just, I think more than anything else, the majority of men are just looking for women to say, "Oh, you know what? I might have been wrong here, and I can do better." And there's nothing wrong with that. That's
Yeah.
admirable. It's admirable.
That's
And
a
move.
sign of growth. That's a
It
sign of
is.
growth because
It is.
because because funny enough, because this is I want to say, interesting story because I think there was an article about a woman. Apparently, there's a woman she wanted to pretend. I think you heard about it. A woman went a whole year pretending to be a man, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when she understood the male experience, yeah, she
I'm
committed
doing.
suicide.
I'm doing a whole case file on her. I'm going to do a whole case file on that woman, and I'm going to go in deep. I mean, they've been talking about her for years, but I'm going to really lay it out about this one.
And the
So,
thing is, like, when you look at that document, because like I said, I'm British, I appreciate you doing that. When I looked at it, it's like we've been doing this for our whole life, and
mhm.
you did 1 year of that.
Yep,
Imagine, and
yep.
she's like I understand how men
It,
feel and stuff. I'm like, yeah, we do have emotion, we do cry, we share tears. Don't do this. We just process it different than you,
yep,
and
yeah,
that's okay.
exactly,
There's nothing
and
wrong
that's
with that.
okay. Yep.
We process things differently,
It was
and it's like
very
once you understand that,
eye opening to me the first time that I read that story and read that she committed suicide over what she learned. That's amazing. That's amazing to me. Like, yeah. But I
I feel
think
like for me that
no, go
that one
ahead.
right there,
Mhm.
it was an eye opener experience for me because it just shows you like what society's done to us to a point is like I think it's like this is why like the manosphere exists because it's resentment. I think I watched the same video you watched about people on Substack talk about four different people talk about this, and one old white woman literally I respect her. She's like, it's 60 years of suppression that has led to this. Both parties are not happy, so one's gonna be angry and pissed off. So we're
Mhm.
gonna retaliate. And what's happening is, like I said, policing. It's like we
Mhm.
allow we can't say certain words because it now is now demonized. Like I remember there was a boxer, I think he's I think he's Haywave or something, a British boxer. He literally just said like ugly women have better personality than pretty girls. And the BBC people, the UK are like, no good like I think it was good more in Britain in the UK. They were like, no, you can't say the word. I'm like, he just said
Mhm.
the word ugly. Why is that a trigger word for you? Why is that
Right.
a trigger word for you?
Right.
He's speaking the truth. He's like, yeah,
Right.
but it's like, and he literally, the more you say that, it's like, you're proving my point. We can't expect honesty because you guys are not allowing me. Like I said, it's a point
Exactly.
of view, it's my opinion. Like,
Exactly.
no, he didn't say, all he said was, like, fat ugly women have better personality. And I'm thinking, like, we can't say the word fat and ugly now. It's now going to be censored.
Right.
Like, it's well. Like, are
It
you
was-
serious? So women could go in public and saying men are shit, men are dogs, men are trash, but yet we say fat, ugly. We're getting like the cops on us. We're getting the police
yeah.
on us
They're sending the
I,
police to your house to
for
come
saying
lock
that.
you up. Yeah, that's wild to me. That's happened. I know that they'll lock you up for things that you say online all over the UK, and that to me it's amazing coming from America and understanding like how we view things. Oh my lord, I would be so
Trust
upset.
me,
I would be so
I
upset.
know. I live in the UK. I gotta deal with this crap every day. I gotta deal with the horse crap when I gotta look at women, yeah, banging in front of me saying men and shit, yeah. I'm like, damn, and like, oh, not you, not you. You're not we don't want
Yeah,
one of them. But I'm like, you do
right.
realize, yeah, it applies to all of us when
Yeah,
you say that. Just be mindful. You know what I
right.
mean? Because I go to poetry nights. I
Mhm.
go to poetry nights, yeah, and my God, the amount of times I hear women do heartbreak poems. Even other women are getting tired of doing heartbreak. Listen to women who do heartbreak poems. I'm like, can you talk
Mhm.
about something else about heartbreak? You know what I mean? Stop
Yeah.
making men the center of your universe.
Right,
You
right,
make
right.
I think
Yeah.
it's like you're allowing us to live in your head rent free. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. It's
Like,
true.
if like I look at it this way, in mentally incest, yeah, I know for a fact here, women will go mentally insane because we literally we need each other. And I
Mhm,
remember
mhm.
like watching a video and like it was some guy was asking women, can you live well without men? Yeah, we can. And the men asked them, can you live well without women? They're like, hell no, we need them. We
Yeah,
need
but
women.
have you seen I can't remember the name of it, but there's one of those shows where they like drop people in the middle of the wilderness and let them fend for themselves, and they film
Oh,
them
I'm
to
a
see.
celebrity. Get me out of here. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
celebrity. We were
they
like,
did the
okay.
they did the one years ago where they separated the men from the women, and I don't know, a couple days into it, the men already had food taken care of, shelter taken care of, everything was good. The women had nothing. They were just standing there arguing with each other for 3 days. They
And the thing
actually
is,
sent the men in to fix it for them. The men went in, showed them how to fish, got them a bunch of food, put up the shelters and everything for them, and then left. Within a matter of days, it was rubble. The shelters were torn down, burned down, the food was gone, and they were right back to arguing again. You know, it's a testament. I wouldn't say that that's going to be the case 100% of the time, of course, because there's
Yeah.
always outliers. There's no such thing as
Yeah.
absolutes, but I think more often than not, that's what we're going to see, and when it comes down to that type of scenario.
No, I agree. I agree. And in me right now, I'm looking at it from a male perspective. I feel like, in my personal opinion, that every man should learn a certain trade or skill. So this recently, like, I just graduated from doing a rail maintenance course in the UK. So I'm like a railway engineer. I'm fixing train tracks.
Okay.
And I'm surrounded by a bunch of men. And I'm thinking like, we're shoveling everything. And I'm thinking like, I'm with the men that's like, just like off my cement. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we got a brotherhood. We help each other out. We're supporting each other.
Exactly.
And And the thing is, like, this is the thing, again, I feel like you and I, we live in a situation where we need to stop lying to women. Like, oh, these are men's job. Don't women can actually fix the train tracks. They can actually do it. Like,
Yeah.
even the war situation, like, you look at Iran. My friend
Mhm.
literally spoke to me. Their country is run by powerful women. Women are doing the same thing that men are doing. They're doing the exact thing men are doing. The only difference is they're not complaining about it. They're working with the men, not against the
Mhm.
men.
Mhm.
Eh, And that's the
It's
thing, yeah, like
true.
we've been lied about. We've been lied about this. Because
You know, I
again,
think
we
I think that women are, um, from birth, led to believe that they have something to prove. That they are led to believe that they have something to prove to the world, to men, to themselves. And I think as men, we just come to the understanding over the years that we don't have nothing to prove to nobody but ourselves. And that's the
yeah,
difference. I think that women have kind of internalized that on their end, to the point where they kind of blame men for that. Like, why do I got to continue to, you know, prove stuff to you? In their mind, mentally, this is what they're thinking.
yeah.
When a man's never asked them to do that a day in their lives.
No, of
So
course. I agree. Because like
that's,
it's funny enough because funny enough, me and my friend were going for a jog here, and we ended up cracking a joke, but it's like what I've noticed is a lot of women say, "Oh, I'm an independent woman, I'm a strong woman," but then we laugh because we don't men don't say that to each other. We don't say, "I'm an independent man, I'm a
right,
strong man."
right, right.
We don't say that. So because like I said, we don't need to prove ourselves.
It's
So when I tell women,
to be completely honest, like, to be completely honest, and I I decided a long time ago when I was real young that no matter what, I was gonna always err on the side of truth, regardless of what it was, because
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
dedicating my life to truth, basically trying to find
yeah,
the truth in everything. And I say
yeah.
that to say that, I've completely lost it. What were we just talking about before I started talking?
But basically, we talk about like how women have to prove themselves by saying they're strong, they're boss babes, they're independent, they're strong. Like
Oh, okay,
when we
yeah,
don't have to,
I got it.
we never said those words. I never said I'm
Right.
a strong man, independent man. Sometimes I want to be the opposite. I'm like, yo, can someone take my spot? I beg you, please. I don't want to be strong. I beg you, can I just sit down for a bit, relax?
Yeah, I mean, but and so where I was going with that then was that, there's no such thing as independence. That it doesn't exist.
That's a lie.
That
It doesn't lie.
we
We're social animals.
we are interdependent on one another and always have been and
Yeah.
always will be. So
Hmm.
when they're doing that, it's a means of trying to puff up their confidence, but it's rooted in falsity. It's rooted
Yeah.
in not the truth. So, there's a lot that comes behind that too, because of that. Because oh well, you can't say that, you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings, or what. It's the truth, and if it hurts your feelings, it's probably because it rings true for you. So
It's actually sad though because obviously like I'm African as well, so I'm a African but Ghanaian heritage. And when I look at like the whole black community, like the black women of like saying, "Oh, you're a strong black woman," it's like again, feminists lied to you guys by saying that you gotta bring your family. It was like even women is like I see women crying for me, not for manipulation, but because they're tired and drained. I'm like, it's okay
mhm,
to cry for me.
yeah.
I prefer you actually do that because to me, like you need to release a toxin out of your body. You
Mhm,
need to release a toxin out of your body because you need to. It's healthy for you. But it's like don't cry because of formal issue because you don't get your way, but cry because you're upset, you're burnt out. And I think it's so bad. Like 1 in 4 women are anti-aggression pills.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
again,
yeah.
like they're literally on medication because of this movement. I think it's like most women don't want to work. They want to like, stay at home, just be
Hmm.
a girly girl. But
Yeah.
society has now forced them to like, oh, you gotta be valued to us. You gotta bring something to us. And it's like,
Stuff it down,
yeah,
and
stuff it down.
and they think it's, I'll be okay. I'll just take this pill. It's just, it's making it worse. It's going to get worse and worse.
No, of
Something
course.
drastic is going to have to change across the West, the entire Western world here soon, or we're toast. We're in for it, man. You know, and
And I think I'll be honest with your
exactly
article.
what that is, I don't know. You know, I don't have all
But,
the
but,
answers, but
it's funny enough, your article literally said it all in that article right away, because by the whole idea of eradicating the reproduction system. And it one sad part, right, is you are like back old white racist white women back in the day having this idea like, let's explore the black and Hispanics, let's get
yeah,
rid of them. And like we kind of knew since day one, this is a scam that you're not trying to sell to us. We're not buying into it. And now you got generation of women thinking, white women thinking, no, I don't want to buy this. I will be a girly girl. I will just stay at home. I like, I could work, but I need a husband. I work, but I need a partner. Like they rather have someone with them to help them.
hmm,
Like they know they value having a man. But they don't have to have a husband. They don't have to have a husband and boyfriend, but they value having a father in their life, a brother in their life, a cousin in their
hmm,
life.
hmm.
And I remember telling to some women, it's like, when's the last time you actually called a man and actually ask him how he's doing, how his week's been, how his day's going, without any gender return? I can call you and ask you how your day is and check up on you. That's fine. That's no issue with me. But how many of you guys do that in reverse?
Right.
And then, and that's the thing though, like you've been, again, social media as well, you've been programmed to not have empathy. You've been
Hmm, hmm.
programmed not to show empathy whatsoever. Men, we are empathetic by default. We have to for our
Yeah.
mothers. Our mothers teach us how to be empathetic. They
Well,
they literally
they
taught us that.
they've been programmed for about 4 generations now
Hmm.
to basically default personality of being deficient men. Like, it's got to be uncomfortable living as a woman in the West right now, regardless of your
It is.
race. It's got to
Yeah.
suck. It's got to be
Yeah.
terrible. You know,
I mean, I've got sympathy towards. I've got
you're
sympathy
not
towards
meant
them.
for that. You know,
Yeah.
again, there's going to be outliers, but women
Yeah.
are not meant to live like men. It's just
It's just a fact. It's
you know,
biology. You
it
can't go
is.
against
But
biology.
I might be touching on some, nerves for some people that have fallen into this understanding that men and women are the same aside from sexual organs, but th- that is a complete and total lie. I mean, the fact that the sexual organs are different, there's going to be different hormones that's going to make you a different person. You're going to experience the world differently. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But we've
No,
got to get something on track, man, because
I mean,
I
it's
think
actually so sad. Like back in, I'll never forget it, 2025, I think during summertime, where the UK, I think ITV, yeah, announced to be called a woman, you had to be biologically born as a woman. And I was thinking, wow. And this is where I think, as men, yeah, I have a lot of sympathy towards women because you bought a system that set you up to fail. You think you were trying to destroy the man, but no, it was secretly trying to destroy you lot.
you're right.
And I
Yep,
think,
you're
and
absolutely
I
right.
think, this is a fear that I have. I don't think the women had this idea of the feminist movement. I think it was a man that gave them the idea. Because I think, hear me out. This is a crazy theory I have. Powerful men want to destroy other men. So how you do
You
that?
know, I got a whole series coming. I got a whole series coming talking about exactly this. I've got a whole series coming. But yeah, that's you're hitting on something, man. And that lets me know that you can't be the only person out there that thinks like this, so
Hmm.
you're seeing things. Your pattern recognition is showing you things that I've been seeing, that there's got to be other men that's seeing it, women too. And I think that we need to start having these conversations, man. I think we really do. Like, we have this technology now that's wonderful. We can have these conversations
Yeah.
across the globe with one
Um,
another, because we,
yeah.
we we both live in the Western world. It's two different countries on the other side of the world, but our experience is similar because it's
Yeah.
the Western world. So this it's very healthy for us to be doing this. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm very thankful for Substack, because from day
Same.
one, when I actually logged in the first time and took a look around, and I was like, wow, this is a game changer. If the right people get on here and start doing their thing, it's gonna really change things for the better. It's gonna assist in bringing about that change for the better, and
No,
that's the thing.
100%. And I think what it is, us men, we need more conversations and more dialogue as well. Because, like I said, looking at your work and we look at each other's work, thinking we have a lot of things in common.
Yeah,
We have a lot
absolutely.
of things in common. We
Yeah.
both got similar experience and deal with it. And the thing is, like, it's so bad to a point. Is like, be honest with you, as a man, if someone telling me, "Oh, Doug, you're doing wrong," I'm like, "No, I'm not doing wrong." Because I know I'm not a nice guy. I'm not an arsehole. I'm a good guy. I'm in the middle. I got boundaries.
Yeah.
Other women look up to me. It's like they can tell my energy. Oh, you're warm. You're helpful. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing mysterious about me. Like I said, they come to me, ask me advice. I always say, look, do you want me to give you my undivided attention, or you actually want my guidance? What do you want?
Yep. You
And
sometimes you gotta ask that question sometimes, man, because you can't tell right off the beginning, and it's
And I think that's one skill, yeah, a lot of men need to work on communication because you know what it is, we're problem solvers by default. So when it comes to it, we're thinking, oh, we gotta fix a problem. No, sometimes she just wants us to listen. So we got
yeah,
like, all right,
yeah,
cool. I'll
yeah,
listen to you. Okay, so it's like, let me get it straight. Bam, bam, boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. And sometimes
yeah,
she just wants to vent. She just
yep,
wants to vent. She just wants to get her mind off things. If she
yeah,
wants your advice, she will say, oh, I need your advice, Duncan, or I need your advice, Eric. And we're cool. This is my advice. This is what you do.
yeah,
Take or not. It's up to you. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's
yep,
happening as
I'm
well as
with you.
well. Like I've been since I've been on this platform and stuff like I've listened to a lot of women and what they're saying, and I don't disagree with them, but I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I hear what you're saying, and they listen to me, vice versa. Like even right now in this live chat, we got women in here taking notes, listening, diving into information, as well, respecting
I'll tell you
her
what.
opinions.
I'll tell you what. I have been pleasantly surprised with some of the women in their writing in here. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. I haven't seen women write anything in the last like 20 years that really impressed. Like maybe one or two here and there. And I'm not
Yeah,
trying to sound how I sound, but that's just how it has resonated with me. There's been very few, right? When I
yeah,
came to this platform, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by what I'm seeing.
hmm,
It's a beautiful thing to see. I'm glad to see that it's out there because I mean, social media really kind of made me feel
yeah.
hopeless there for a
Of
while,
course. I'm just gonna put a light on because it's getting dark on my side. Because right
Sure.
now it's coming like to 8 o'clock on my side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, but even me as well, like I'm looking at what the women and stuff, and I love some of the women. Some of the women hold other women accountable. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, you guys are doing that. I mean, I'll never
That's
forget
a
there was one
beautiful
woman.
thing.
I don't
It's
know,
a
there was
beautiful
one
thing.
article. I love this. I was read it. I think I saved it, but the one woman she wrote an article saying women need to learn to shut up. I was saying, okay, so I'm reading it, and she's going just like you, similar. She's going like, women are into politics, economics. Like an excuse? They were never into power and stuff. It's just a byproduct. And a lot of men in the comments are poisoning her anything because she stood up. Hey, the men are right. Sometimes we gotta
Mhm.
learn to be quiet. Sometimes we gotta
It's
learn to
true.
listen.
It's
You know
true.
what I mean? And like I said, vice versa. I've been in a situation where women are like a women's space. I'm
Mhm.
taking notes. But you know what it is? I'm not putting my point of view across. I'm just asking questions. I'm asking questions like, what gave you the idea? So I'm
Yeah.
engaged with them. Like, hey, I'm just giving my 2 cents. This is what I think. But I'm not telling you
Yeah.
what to do. This is what I think. And
Yeah.
it's like
Listen,
you create a
Duncan,
space. Yeah.
I gotta cut it short, man.
Same,
I
definitely. But
I
yeah.
I hate to do it, but this was great. We should do this again pretty soon. What
No,
do you think?
definitely, 100%. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's more to come. Like I said, there's more to come, Eric. And I think, like I said, that work you're doing, yeah, I would say keep up the excellent work and everything. And like I said, to everyone who's been on this live, and especially the women here, thank you so much for joining us and actually listening. We actually
Likewise.
appreciate it. Like you giving us a
Likewise.
space to actually talk and actually, let us think, express our emotions and our thoughts and our ideologies.
You
Definitely.
and if you you want to know the truth, this is the manosphere. This right here that's what it is this just having conversation, you
Patience.
know, trying to label what was recorded and put on Netflix as the manosphere is pretty disappointing. So
I know. Trust me. And the thing is, like, this is not the first time. I was saying right now for free, Eric. This ain't the last. Andrew Tate, Joy Pearson, they ain't the last man, and they ain't the first
mhm,
man. There's always gonna be a new
right,
man rising. And trust
always.
me, always. You like I said, don't face. You can't keep a man down.
That's right. But
Definitely, man.
I'm gonna holler at you in a little bit, but I gotta get going. I gotta get on the
Same.
road here. All
Yeah,
right, man.
definitely. I got. Listen, Eric, it was a great conversation with you, and like I said, more to come soon. Definitely,
Yes.
definitely, hundred
Have a good
percent.
one. Thank you.
You too, man. Take care. See you later. Bless. Bye bye.